Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Sam Spade from the Midnight Devils, and you're listening to In Obscuria Podcast, where we always keep it real, real hard. How hard, you say? So hard, it hurts.
In Obscuria.
Welcome back, my friends, to the In Obscuria Podcast, a podcast where we exhume obscure rock and punk and metal, and we put them in one of three categories: the lost, the forgotten, or the should-have-beens. I am Kevin Williams, that guy drinking a beer and burping, Robert Harrison.
Salutations, my friend.
Cheers, sir.
Cheers. It is that time in the evening.
It is. Did you hear me loudly come over on the airboat this evening?
Yes.
It's a little swampy out there, man.
You scared away the groundhogs across the street.
Oh, did we tell that story? I don't think we told that story. Didn't you ever the sad story, the sad tale of what's going on? Sean McGinnity's like dinging me here.
Oh, Canada.
Go away. We're busy.
We had you on last time.
I know. He's trying to sabotage
Two
us.
times ago. God, it's been 2 episodes already.
2 episodes. Well, time flies.
Oh, well. He's ready to come back.
I have for the past 5 years started off with 2 groundhogs. And
we talked about them for, I don't know, probably 2 years ago.
We didn't know what they were. We debated whether they're groundhogs or woodchucks. And we debated vociferously. And finally somebody looked it up, and they're the same thing. Same damn thing. They're basically beavers without a tail, and they're big.
They're big, furry, fluffy.
Jiggly, and they don't bother anybody. They just eat grass. So they live basically in the creek across the street from the firehouse, which is also kind of a parking lot, but it's grass.
Well, now it's just all swampland.
This is very swampy right now. So they live over, they eat grass. They don't bother anybody. But if you walk outside towards them, they go away. They're very shy. So we look at them from afar. We appreciate them. They don't bother anybody. We get along fine. Well, then they had babies.
They don't chuck your wood.
No wood chucking.
Do woodchucks chuck wood?
Hey, you dang woodchucks! Quit chucking my wood!
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
So they had babies. So there was a couple of years ago, there was 4 of them. And then the babies moved 2 streets over. And I know that because my neighbors on our neighborhood Facebook page started all of a sudden about the same time they disappeared, started posting pictures of, oh, look, we have groundhogs living with us. So they moved the way. And then this year, the family had 3 kids. So there's 5 of them over there. And so the dog that I live with, Ronnie James DOG,
he just walked out of the room. He knew
we were talking
about him.
Yeah, and he knows this story. So he's been very enthralled with these woodchucks. He watches them from the window
for years,
5 years now. Barks to let me know that they're out, they're eating grass. Let me just alert.
Yeah,
he does his
just
job.
So you know. Hey, Robert, hey, they're outside.
Yeah, just letting you know they're eating some grass again, like they've done for years. So occasionally he gets out and just makes a beeline across the street. Well, they're pretty quick, and they go back into their little burrows. So it's been about 4 weeks now. I come home, I'm in the truck, and usually if I'm in the truck, he's with me because he likes riding in the truck. He's a good country dog. So he's in the back seat, and I pull in, and as a conscientious driver, I realized I had received a couple of text messages, but I did not look at my phone while I was driving. I waited until I pulled into the driveway, and I stopped.
Because you know that some states are no-touch states.
No touchy.
You were just being a no-touch person.
Yeah, we're kind of hands-off state as well, but they don't really enforce it. Good Lord. You drive around Atlanta, nobody gives a damn.
People have the phone up to their ear.
They got iPads up there watching cartoons and porn.
Oh, behave!
So, yeah.
At the same time.
I've seen it. I swear to God, I've seen it.
Don't look up here, kids. Just watch your cartoon.
It was at night, and you could plainly see they're watching porn in the car. They're like, oh my. So pull in the driveway, and the windows are kind of halfway down, which means my window's halfway down. That's about 5 feet off the ground. And I just hear this, and I knew what happened. He jumped out the window.
Like a cannon.
Yeah, it's about 5 feet off the ground. Dog jumps out the window and just darts, and I immediately get out of the truck, and I'm just yelling, no! I don't even know what he's doing, but I know he's after something, because when he radar locks onto something, I've seen it, and it's not pretty. And this time, it was one of the parents.
Oh.
This dumbass groundhog decided to
They're older now.
They're older now, not as fast, and he tried to come across the street instead of going back home. He thought it'd be smart, and Dio just took him out. And I've never heard a worse sound than a groundhog screaming. And it was screaming as Dio just killed it. And I was so mad. I just put a string. I grabbed him by the neck. I'm like, I walked him back across the street and threw him inside the firehouse and closed the door. Then I'm like, I gotta go deal with this.
As he licked the blood off his chops.
There's a dead groundhog in the middle of the road. And it was like 25 pounds. It was big.
Yeah, they were big.
You can't just fling that over a fence, So I had to.
Well, you could.
Well, I could, but my neighbors would hate me. So I had to go out and get a shovel and go out in the woods and had to say some words. I mean, at that point, you're like, have a little ceremony or something. Like, oh, dearly beloved, we're sorry this happened. Sorry.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord, not my fault. But, I'm cleaning up the mess. Once again, he's got these hash marks of chipmunks, squirrels, a rabbit. Now he's killed a groundhog. So he's looking at me.
What's next?
Oh, he was so happy. But he was trying to act like, oh, I'm sorry. But he was like, yeah, fuck yeah.
What is that? What? I was just sitting there and you were all quiet. What are you doing?
Ronnie James Dio.
Has he gotten a snake yet?
No, we don't really have. Man, that is one thing we don't have. We have everything else. Foxes,
I'm surprised you don't
coyotes.
have snakes out here.
Well, down in the creek, I don't spend a lot of time in the creek because it's one of those creeks. It probably does, but we're not Florida. I mean, Florida, they were everywhere. Good Lord, they're hanging down from your windows. They were on the
hanging
front
out
porch,
the trees,
and the trees, and the grapevine. We had a grapevine across the deck, and you just see the tail kind of dangling down. You knew my dad would go get the shotgun. He would
shotgun.
He would shoot them with a shotgun in a subdivision. This was a subdivision, and it was a nice, not high end, but it was
loaded
nice
with rock salt or something.
I don't know. There's just rat shot basically.
Yeah.
It's like a 410, so it was the small shotgun. But yeah, we had like potholes in our yard from where he shot snakes. Bam! And he always well, I'm protecting our dogs, So yeah, that was the redneck Florida I grew up in.
All right. Anything else go on this week that you want to tell the people about?
Absolutely nothing. It's been the most quiet few months. I don't know ever since I moved in 10 years ago. It's been very peaceful, unlike last year. Just quiet. I've been enjoying that, but it's just kind of the calm before the storm, I think. I don't know. I'm starting to plan the 10-year anniversary of the firehouse tomorrow. So I've got a meeting, lunch with Mary, Merry. Mary. I like that.
Can I show you something?
I was just smiling. I was just browsing.
For your wife or your girlfriend?
What? What happened? Woof. I guess wouldn't be the Christmas shopping season if the stores were any less hotter than they are. Whew, it is warm in here.
Well, you have your coat on.
Yes, it is. It's a bit nipply out. I mean nippy out. What did I say, nipple? There is a nip in the air, though.
Can I take something out for you?
Good golly. 'Tis the season to be merry.
Well, that's my name.
Oh, shit.
Nice.
Yeah, so we'll start planning the 10-year anniversary, and I don't know. We'll see what happens after that. But yeah, it's been very peaceful, very quiet here, not doing anything.
Okay. All right. Well, after you enjoy a little bit of peace, everyone.
It's golf.
Please go and listen. Watch some golf.
Coming down the third green.
And then go listen to
Tiger Woods.
Shh, here's coming up now.
Here he comes up now.
All right,
Pulls
right
out his
now.
wood. Wait, he holds the shaft.
And then you listen to Pot of Thunder, Cobras and Fire, Growing Up Rock,
Another Stroke,
Slam Fest Podcast, Decibel Geek, Sean Geek and Fast Fret Podcast, A to Z Radio, Metal Up Your Podcast, The Hustle, Disciples of the Watch, Podcast Rock City, State of Amorica, Rock Strikes 10, Potter Than Hell, The Kiss Room, Ages of Rock, and The Podcast Will Rock, Big Al's Rockin' Podcast, and Forget about Monty.
Hey, this is Monty Colvin from Galactic Cowboys and Monty's Rockcast, and you are listening to the amazing In Obscuria podcast. Rock on!
Monty's Rockcast. Come visit us in obscuria.com. It looks just like it did last week. Like us, share us, Facebook, X, Instagram. All right. So I just mentioned that it's a little swampy outside.
Oh, God.
Do we think it's time? Is it time for us to... No, probably not. We're not quite there.
It's rained 3 times for 5 minutes each, and then it's just steamy in between.
And just like a gusher. Coming down.
This is Florida weather, that 3 o'clock afternoon thunderstorm for about 10 minutes. Then the sun comes back out just to torch you, right?
I'll take this over the hot heat and no rain. That was a good band. To play them sometime.
Yeah, they fit in. Yeah, the dry, dusty, just ass hot. Yeah, that's bad.
Triple digits and no rain.
It's swampy, but it's keeping it from being desert hot right now. It could be desert hot.
I'll take this. Yeah. I'm good with this.
I don't, because I have a house down the street. We've opened up the roof, and we have to be on standby within like 5 minutes because you never know when the sun's out and it'll start raining.
And then it starts raining. Yeah,
so we have to be ready a moment's notice.
Yeah, it was pouring down just a little bit ago, and it was bright and sunny outside.
Oh, yeah. Don't know what the hell's going on.
I don't know how that works.
I don't either. God does. I don't.
Well, it's almost the middle of summer here in Atlanta. It's hot, like we were saying, and we're having lots of these afternoon thunderstorms like we're talking about. And my kids are at that age. They're 12 and 13. They have aged out of most of the camps and the summer activities.
Yeah, where do you send them?
Well, that's the thing. Like, there's not a whole lot I can do with them now. They can't work yet because they're too young to work.
Well, shit, I'll put them. Bring them over here.
I can put them to work, but I mean, they can't go like actually earn money somewhere else.
Yeah, legally.
They're also at the age of middle school where everything is boring. Everything's boring. Doesn't matter what it is.
Boring. Exterminate.
But everything's boring.
God.
So it's reminding me of how summers were when I was a kid in the 80s. Think back to when you were 12 or 13 years old. What were you getting into? What was your typical summer day?
First of all, what was the worst thing you could do as a kid? Tell your mom you're bored.
Oh, I know, because
she would just
back in those days, they just put you to work,
grab you by the neck.
Weeds.
Here's a mop. Here's some weed. Yeah, all those weeds they got to go over here. You learn real quick.
Yeah.
Same thing about I never even mentioned that word around my house. Although I didn't have that problem. I mean, there was very rarely was there a situation where I was bored because you and I had freedom and a bicycle.
We had places. That's what I wanted you to get into. I knew you were going to go there because that was the thing. Growing up in the 80s, you got out of the house and you didn't come back until it was dark.
Yep.
And they didn't know what you were up to.
Very timely. This morning, there was a newspaper article about how bicycle riding by kids in just the past 20 years, so not since the 80s, since 2000, has dropped by half.
Oh, yeah.
And you and I knew that, but to see it scientifically written into an article saying it's gone from 19 million whatever instances of kids riding bikes to 10, and it's insane. What is the cause of that? I don't know. Is it parents?
It's because people were scared to death to let their kids out of their sight.
Or is there just so many people? There's no sparse areas to go and explore like we had.
Well, I mean, we live in a city, so but it's just nobody thinks it's safe to let your kid out of your sight,
God,
even at this age.
I'm so glad I had that freedom. I mean, it was a small town, so you're not going to get lost. It wasn't a situation where you're going to go too far. Because
you had woods, right?
Well,
we had a lot of woods.
We had woods, but if you went too far south, you just got wet because it was the Gulf.
That's right.
So it kind of kept us in.
We didn't have that.
We could go left or right.
We had creeks and rivers and stuff.
If you went north, you got to the Air Force Base, and then the MPs would chase you, which I did that on my motorcycle. But the creeks, the woods, the rivers, things like that, to go, there's a trail. Where does it go? I don't know. Boom. You go ride down that trail and find out where it goes.
And then, oh, look, there's a copperhead. Kill it.
There's a Playboy magazine. Somebody left.
There's a Playboy magazine.
What
yes. Well, let's see what that's all about.
What is this? I don't know.
Oh my God.
Hello, that's a weird feeling.
Yes, that was a thing.
Yeah.
I remember going, there was this, behind the neighborhood, the subdivision that we lived in, there were just woods for, seemed like forever.
Yeah.
And we would ride back there, and they had these old logging trails. Yeah. And we would find those trails, and then they would have these old bridges, and that's where we would hang out and, smoke our first cigarettes and take our first drinks and find the Playboy magazines, to your point, that somebody had left strategically for others to find.
They heard
and enjoy.
somebody coming and ditch the evidence.
Exactly. But that's what was going on in the 80s at that age, man. But, and then I was transitioning. I became a skateboarder, really good. I was so good. Mm-hmm. I was basically falling down every day, just coming in at night, just bloodied.
Scabs up and down your elbows,
badges
your knees.
of honor.
You didn't wear knee pads,
Scabs
probably.
of honor. I did have knee pads.
Did you?
But I didn't have any other pads. So my elbows, everything else, we didn't wear helmets
Your
or anything
skull.
like that. Oh, yeah. But then the other thing is, when you had all those rains like we're having, my parents would ship us off to the movie theater. It's like, get them out of the house, send them to the movie theater, and it was matinees.
Yeah.
It was like you could watch Gremlins, and then you can go and watch Ghostbusters, or I don't even know if those were out at the same time. But you know what I mean? Like, you could go watch 2 movies in a single day.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I watched Star Wars at one of those. And then I remember my older cousin who had a Camaro. He was cool. Took me to see Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo. And the movie's okay. We watched it, and he just sat there, and I was like getting up to leave. He's like, "You want to watch it again?" I'm like, "What? You can do that?"
Or just sneak into the next theater.
Yeah, he said, we'll go act like
Superman's down the hall. Go
get
one.
a Coke or something. Yeah, and I felt like such a rebel. This was the first time I remember going, "Ooh, that seems bad."
It's naughty, and I like it.
That was like probably one of those days where they were very happy I was gone for 3 hours.
Yeah, and really, at the time we didn't think about it because we were kids, but they were just teenagers working at those things. They didn't give a shit.
No, God,
they could care less.
I expect like the FBI to come in.
Exactly.
Sir, let me see your ticket.
But it didn't matter back then if it were, if it was an 80s summer blockbuster or if it was like a B movie that, would be on HBO within 6 months. That's how long it took. So action adventure. Back then there were a lot of ninja movies. We watched a lot of ninja movies back then. I don't know.
Well, the Karate Kid and all that.
There was that. And there's Enter the Ninja and Revenge of the Ninja and all that
Big
stuff.
Trouble, Little China.
Oh, yeah. A lot of space movies because of Star Wars. Campy horror movies that we'd have to sneak into because we weren't really old enough.
Yeah.
A lot of the 80s teen coming-of-age films.
The Breakfast Club,
all
Pretty in
those.
Pink.
And then just amazing comedies, with
Eddie Murphy live.
everybody.
Raw.
Just us.
Was that Raw?
So, yeah, I think that was HBO only, but...
Oh, I thought that was in the movie theater.
Maybe it was. I don't know.
I was not
It was
allowed.
R. I wasn't allowed to see that.
I was nowhere near allowed to go to that.
But then the other thing I was thinking about with that is, how about the soundtracks that accompanied those films and all the great music that would...
Holiday Road.
Exactly. Yeah, all the music that Kenny Loggins wrote.
God, he wrote like 80% of all soundtracks in the 80s.
So I was starting to get a little nostalgic, looking at my kids and going, I'm taking them to a movie. I took them to a movie on Sunday.
Oh, you did?
I tried to see something that was a little more adult because I thought they were of age, and no, they still picked the damn Disney movie, so I had to see that. But
what Disney movie?
It's called Ilio. I don't recommend it. Ilio.
It's
about a little kid that goes to space. So it was still a space adventure, but it was real cutesy.
Is it animated?
And there were there were none of?
Wookiees?
There were no Wookiees.
Princess Leia?
No Leias.
Droids?
There were droids.
Okay.
Yeah, but there was no montage scene. Not a single montage scene.
What the hell? I'd ask for a refund.
So that's why we're going to do this.
Yeah.
Episode 290, Monstrous Montages, AOR Volume 3.
We've had some classics already.
Oh, we're about to do it again. So before we go any further, however, we must get the approval, the go-ahead from the diabolical duo, Captain Content and Mighty K.
I am Captain
Content.
And this is my faithful companion,
Mighty K.
Say hello.
Okay, I know you're dying for my opinion, so I'm
Dying.
gonna give it to you right now. I wasn't a fan, but nothing tickled my fancy. Irregardless. Daryl's shaking his head.
She's obviously been drinking.
A little bit. So, have a nice day and help. All right. I will talk to you guys later.
Wow, she took this retirement thing seriously. She started day drinking.
Wow. That is our second appearance by Double Barrel Daryl.
Yeah,
I think this is a thing.
Hopefully he was driving.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was driving.
She's going to pass out in the floorboard.
To make that comment.
Yeah.
Or else he's just, he's good at taking risk.
Next week, when we get her feedback, we'll have to get her to tell us the story where he got his name. Is it just referring to his arms? A gun show?
Yeah.
Or is there a story behind that?
That's what we need. We need the origin story of Double Barrel Daryl.
So we just kind of fill in the gaps there.
All right, yeah. The people want to know.
People want to know. I want to know.
Apparently, she doesn't want to hear this episode, but we don't care. We're going to move forward anyway.
Yeah, we outvoted her.
All right. So, music in the 80s and the 90s really lent itself to mainstream action and team movies, and they were often featured in non-speaking montage segments. That's what we're going to get into here tonight. Usually that music was kind of that AOR gold, that stuff that, the cheese factor was so high, yet it was so fist-pumpingly good that you didn't care.
I'd like to know what the most recent non-verbal montage is in a movie. I'm pretty sure there's.
I bet the Top Gun reboot had one.
Oh yeah, it had to have had one. I haven't. I saw the first 5 minutes and went, yeah.
That's what I said.
Maybe someday.
Yeah, he kind of creeps me out.
Yeah.
With age, man, the fact that he doesn't change that much it's kind of creepy to me.
He's got a whole thing, entourage, and whatever thing going on behind
all of his
him.
Scientologists. I don't really know what they do, but somehow they've kept them young.
They hook jumper cables up to their nuts and plug it in, and then if you scream, they're like, you got to pay more money.
What the hell did you just say?
All right.
That's basically the religion in a nutshell.
Who are you who are so wise in the ways of science?
Okay. Well, do they also worship Velveeta? Because we're going to do that tonight.
Actually, you can go in South Park. They did a pretty good breakdown of what they actually believe.
Maybe I'll throw that in right here.
Usually to hear the secret doctrine, you have to be in the church for several years, Stan. Are you ready to hear the truth?
I guess.
You see, Stan, there is a reason for people feeling sad and depressed. An alien reason. It all began 75 million years ago. Back then, there was a galactic federation of planets, which was ruled over by the evil Lord Xenu. Xenu thought his galaxy was overpopulated, and so he rounded up countless aliens from all different planets, and then had those aliens frozen. The frozen alien bodies were loaded onto Xenu's galactic cruisers, which looked like DC-8s, except with rocket engines. The cruisers then took the frozen alien bodies to our planet, Earth, and dumped them into the volcanoes of Hawaii. The aliens were no longer frozen, they were dead. The souls of those aliens, however, lived on, and all floated up towards the sky. But the evil Lord Xenu had prepared for this. Xenu didn't want their souls to return, and so he built giant soul catchers in the sky. The souls were taken to a huge soul brainwashing facility, which Xenu had also built on Earth. There, the souls were forced to watch days of brainwashing material, which tricked them into believing a false reality. Xenu then released the alien souls, which roamed the Earth aimlessly in a fog of confusion. At the dawn of man, the souls finally found bodies which they could grab onto. They attached themselves to all mankind, which still to this day causes all our fears, our confusions, and our problems.
Scientology is just a big fat global scam.
And we're canceled.
All right, so AOR music, notable artist, our good friend, Mr. Scoldwell. I can't call him by his name anymore.
No.
Ever since we called him Scoldwell, I'm like, that's just your name now.
It's like,
sorry, Steve. Just Scoldwell.
Scold pretty good.
But ever since we had Scoldwell on the program and he went over all this with us, we talked about Foreigner and Journey and Boston, REO, Toto, Survivor, Styx, Night Ranger, Loverboy, all that AOR stuff that just, high on the cheese factor, but still such damn great music.
What about Boston?
What the hell did you just say?
We talked about Foreigner and Journey and Boston, REO, Toto.
Did they ever get?
Yeah, Boston's in there.
Okay,
of course. Arena Rock.
Rock.
Yes, there were the bands in the late 70s and early 80s that were filling up the arenas. Journey is probably the one that they were all measuring themselves by.
Yeah.
Because that was the big one.
Don't stop. That one.
Oh, go on, please.
Oh, yeah.
More.
My Steve Perry.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah. No.
All right. Well, one thing I did was I looked up the top 10 80s montage scenes according to Inner Edge Music. That's where I go for all of my top 10 is Inner Edge Music.
All that work, and they got a blurb on a podcast.
How about that?
That's what they do it for.
Now, I don't know that I agree with all of these, but I think these are pretty good. It's a pretty good list. So, top 10 montage scenes. I'm going to give you the name of the song that's being played, the artist who recorded that song, and the movie it came from. Number 10, Maniac. Michael Cimbello from Flashdance in 1983.
Yeah, I was old enough to have confused feelings. What?
Ooh.
What's she doing?
Was that water?
Shirt full of water? What t-shirt? What? Oh. I gotta go in my room for a minute.
She's kind of butchy, but I really like her.
Exactly. All natural.
All right, number 9. Of course, I don't know why this is number 9. I think it should be a little higher, but number 9, Footloose. Oh, Kenny Loggins from Footloose, 1984. For some reason, I was thinking Footloose was earlier than that.
Was that the tractor scene where they're playing chicken on the tractors?
Well, there was that scene.
That wasn't a montage, though.
I think it was a montage scene. I wonder what it was playing.
Oh, man.
We had to go back and look.
Yeah, because that was the best. You're like, dumbass.
Footloose, they did at the very end of the movie, right? That's what they danced to in the house or whatever.
But yeah, that tractor scene, the chicken tractors, tractor chicken.
And they're going so slow.
Yeah. It's like Austin Powers, the dude in front of the steamroller. Yeah, but it's just your shoelace. Pull your foot, and you're okay, dumbass. You're gonna run into a tractor because your shoelace is caught. What an idiot!
All right, so number 8, another Kenny Loggins joint, Danger Zone from Top Gun at number 8, 1986.
That wasn't the volleyball scene, was it?
No, that was a flying scene. That was a fight scene in the air.
Because there was another one during the volleyball scene. I don't know what song it was.
Yep, see, we got all this homework to do. Was it?
Yeah.
And then there was the sexy Berlin song scene.
Yeah. Now, by then, I was old enough to fully understand the emotions and feelings that were happening. Damn, that song.
All right.
I still love that song.
So now we're going to get into another series of movies here, which you just have to say yes to this. So number 7, Hearts on Fire, John Cafferty from the Rocky IV soundtrack, 1985.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Oh, you will. If you heard a little snippet of it, you would know it right away.
Is it him or is Beaver Brown Band?
Hearts on Fire is what they were playing, I believe, when he found out that the Russian had killed Apollo, and he's like driving around after the funeral or something.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good scene. All right, number 6, of course, Eye of the Tiger, Survivor, Rocky III, 1982.
I don't know if I saw that one either.
You didn't see Rocky III with Mr. T?
When it came on TV, like the free...
I pitied a fool that didn't see Rocky III.
Commercials, because those movies they could put on TV with a couple of snippets here or there.
Yeah. But Eye of the Tiger, I mean, come on. That's
I know
huge,
the song.
Huge
yes.
song.
You heard it everywhere you went. Yeah. Commercials, anything. They made a bank off that.
Okay, number 5 took me a minute, but once I heard it, I'm like, oh yeah. So No Easy Way Out, Robert Tepper from Rocky IV, 1985.
You got a clip of that?
I should.
Yeah, because nobody knows that one.
We'll put it in.
Okay, right here.
Right here.
Oh, yeah, that song.
Now, I looked up Robert Tepper just to see who he was. He was just a singer-songwriter kind of guy, and then he had this AOR
out of nowhere
bouncy 80s hit. And then in the 90s, he joined the ultimate 90s band, Iron Butterfly.
Oh, God.
In the 90s. Version...
40 years after the band.
Version 8 of that band,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
It was the grandchildren of the founders.
Okay, here's another one that you're going to have to just trust me on. You have to go back and listen to it. But number 4 on this list is No Stopping Us by Ollie and Jerry. This is from the movie Breakin' that came out in 1984. If you heard it, you would recognize this is the scene where he's basically telling these people that are judging this dance contest that I'm a street dancer.
So the sequel to this was Break Into Electric Boogaloo.
Check out the big brain on
Robert.
You're a smart motherfucker. That's right.
I believe that's correct, sir.
Look at the brain. Yeah. Why? I know things like that.
I love that you know that.
But yeah.
Okay. The next one is a song that you're going to know, but I don't know that you'll know that it was actually a real song in a movie prior to the one you're thinking of. The song is The Touch by Stan Bush from the Transformers movie that came out in 1986.
That's from Boogie Nights.
It was the same song that they spoofed on Boogie Nights.
What?
It is a real song, and it is done exactly how they did it.
Oh my God.
Now, I was too old, I think, even in 86 to go to the Transformers movie. That wasn't my thing.
No.
But this song is... Now, when Steve was on the show, the first time we did it in AOR, he played a song by Spectre General, which was actually Kick-Axe. And he played that on the Monstrous Montages. I wish you would have played The Touch.
Yes.
Because I didn't realize that was...
I thought it was just made up. Just completely made up on the spot.
You got the touch. You got the power.
That's so bad. I had no idea it was a real
Stan
song.
Bush. Hey, look him up.
Got to change that name for rock and roll. All right, number 2, according to this list, an interesting one, Scarface, Push It to the Limit by Paul Ingman from Scarface, 1982. I didn't remember this. I know several times.
I know Scarface, but I didn't remember that they had a montage scene, but it's there. Go check it out.
Wow, I'm blanking on that. I remember lots of scenes, but I can't remember a montage scene.
Yep. And number 1 is, I think they got this one right. I would argue that some of the ones that were in the 7, 8, 9, 10, I would have put those a little lower and moved some of those other ones out. But I will agree that number 1, they got it right. You're the best. Joe Esposito from Karate Kid, 1984. You're the best. All right. Oh God. when he's doing his little
crane
thing.
Yeah. I remember watching that in band class. It was raining. We couldn't go outside and do the marching band thing. And so the band director just put that on the big screen we had in the room, and we sat there and watched Karate Kid. And that was the only time I've ever seen that movie.
My sister loved that movie. I remember watching it and just not liking Ralph Macchio's character at all. I just thought he sucked.
I love Mr. Miyagi.
I love Miyagi. I love his girl.
Yes. Yeah. Who's not
the character himself, I didn't like him at all.
A little too vanilla.
It was a wuss.
Have you seen any of the current remakes?
The Cobra Kai?
Yes, filmed here in Atlanta.
I tried to watch a little bit of season 2, maybe, just to see what it was like, and it just didn't.
I didn't stick it. I mean, the original didn't really stick with me, so I couldn't imagine.
Well, yeah, I didn't really like him to begin with, so
yeah,
I'm not a Ralph Macchio fan.
No, good looking guy. Congratulations. Hope you made a career out of that. Bless your heart.
But those are the types of songs we're going to play here tonight. Now, we've talked about the fact that there are bands today who are still trying to go after this sound. And one of the best there is.
Yes.
It's on my shirt. I'm wearing my... Can you read that?
The Knit Flit... Oh, your computer's in the way.
Oh.
Night Flight Orchestra.
Oh, yes. And we're going to start with a song from 2025, a brand new song from one of these newer bands doing the AOR thing, the Night Flight Orchestra. But before we play this song, please take off your horned helmet, sir.
Okay. I didn't do my hair, huh? Smear me and bear me. Mark.
Oh, yes. We have to start with the band from Sweden. First, the Night Flight Orchestra. If you want any additional information about this band, go listen to...
156.
No, 112. You were so close.
God,
112.
Damn it.
We tell you everything you need to know and why they should be huge. They released album number 7 in 2025. I'm going to play a song right now called... Well, the name of the album is called Give Us the Moon. But the song I'm going to play is called Melbourne. May I?
The cabin will be pressurized during the flight. However, if oxygen is required, masks like these will drop automatically from the unit above your head.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for keeping that alive. Glorious. Glorious. The keyboards in that warmed cockles in my heart. All the cockles in my heart, they warmed. The guitar tone, very Neil Schon. Not the style, just the tone. It was too few notes for Neil.
Yeah.
Not noodly enough. But it was a blend of like early Journey and Toto. Just because Toto would do the whole keyboard to guitar, back and forth.
Proggy.
Little proggy. Yeah. Was it Jeff Procoro?
Yeah, something like that.
Procoro, something like that. But yeah, his keys, Steve's guitar work, and they're not highly featured in montages, but I bet his work is. I bet you,
I guarantee you,
because they did so much session work.
Yeah, I agree.
That I bet it may not be a full song, but there's somewhere.
He did all the yacht rock stuff.
Yeah, all
they
the yacht
they
rock.
did all the yacht rock stuff.
Yeah.
But
him and Michael.
Yeah, they were AOR as well. I mean, they yes. I mean, he played on Beat It.
Yeah, and I love the interviews that go back and break down how they came up with the songs, and then like Michael Jackson just shows up and sings, and like for the whole time I thought, oh well, Michael Jackson wrote this song. No, Steve did.
I think he had the riff, but I think
it depends on the song.
Better.
Human Nature's Jeff Procoro wrote it when his little girl bumped into somebody on a playground and she was crying, why? And so on the way to the studio, he had that in his head and he sat down and played out the piano part and basically had the whole thing. And then Michael comes in and changes some of the lyrics, but that's it.
Check out the big brain on
Robert.
You're a smart motherfucker. That's right.
But yeah, those two guys right there account for a huge part of the 80s, late 70s, 80s sound. They don't get the credit because they're not the flashy band that you think about.
Right. But the Night Flight Orchestra will take you right back to the early 80s to me, and I love what they do. There's a reason we had a whole episode about them. They continue to amaze me with their albums. And did you have a montage come to mind when you were listening to Melbourne, May I?
No, I was listening to all the
instrumentation.
But every band,
yeah.
Like for 5 seconds it was Toto, 6 seconds it was Journey, back and forth between the two of those. So no, I'll pay attention to what I'm supposed to be doing on the next song.
Yeah, so the next song you can give. But I'll give you mine. Yes, mine is a movie about young Billy. He's 17. He's from Arizona. He's a rancher kid.
Yeah, a lot of ranches in
Arizona. Yes, deserty. Yeah, deserty area.
Grow a lot of stuff out there.
So he was he's really good with a boomerang.
Oh,
and he won the local championship boomerang throwing, and then he got invited
down to Melbourne
to go to Australia, and he takes the flight and goes there, and they don't really take too kind to Billy when he gets there because they're Aussies and they're like, you're not gonna, no America's gonna come here.
He's got the Arizona accent nobody can understand.
They don't want some American kid winning their boomerang competition, but an old Aborigine takes a shine to him. He's like, come here, Billy boy. And he takes him out to the outback and he teaches him the way of the Aborigine. Mm-hmm. And then he goes to the competition a week later and he wins the whole thing.
Got a little didgeridoo in the background.
Yeah, so that's my movie. I don't have a fancy title for it yet.
That's actually better than 80% of the montages that actually made it to the theaters.
I think I just took a surfing movie from the 80s and just flipped it into a boomerang contest, but it still works.
But that's all you do. And then it's a BMX contest, and it's skateboarding, and then it's breakdance. I mean, they went to breakdancing. Come on.
Yes.
They take whatever's hot at the moment, put it in a montage.
They've never done boomerangs before.
I know. I think they're ready for it. It's timeless. Timeless.
Well, we're just going to name the movie Melbourne, May I? Yeah. There we go. Title track to the movie.
Sell that, buy a house in Florida.
All right. Well, let's do another one. This time, I do expect you to participate, sir. All right. The next one is a Detroit band. And last week...
Kiss.
What is wrong with you?
Rock City.
New York?
I know.
Anyway. No, last week we had over to your house all the way from Detroit. We had Toby Red, which was Chad's from the Chili Peppers, his old band. And we talked about how many great Detroit bands there were in the 80s. Not all of them got to the level of, mainstream.
Toby Red.
Not all of them got to the level of Toby Red, and some of them got even further. But I thought, you know what? Why don't we bring another Detroit band in this week? So this is a band that sort of almost kind of made it. And their name is Adrenalin. Great name.
Great name.
Excellent name. Especially for the 80s.
Yeah, 100%.
They did have one of their songs featured on the soundtrack for 1986's Iron Eagle.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I never saw it, but I know the movie.
You never saw Iron Eagle?
No.
Oh, that was a good one. It's like a Top Gun with kids.
Yeah, I know. I lived underneath
Great soundtrack.
the flight path for Eglin Air Force Base. So daily F-15s, F-16s,
so that
F-14
didn't-
Tomcats.
had no impact on you.
To go see a movie about jets flying around, I'm like, go stand outside. It's free.
Oh,
They're
okay.
bombing. And
Well,
all
for
that
me,
stuff.
it was cool. And great soundtrack. That's the soundtrack that we talked to Eric Martin about because he's on it. And also there's a Dio song that's not on any of the albums. It's a great song called High in the Rainbow on it. Just a really, really good soundtrack. I sort of didn't remember this song by Adrenalin, but it's on there too. And it's called Road of the Gypsy. It's kind of a mix of Journey and Springsteen. Kind of what, I mean, exactly a mix of Journey and Springsteen.
Really?
If you hear it. It's kind of a ballady, you know.
Oh, that's right.
The mellow
Their softer
thing.
side, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, they did have that and, you know, didn't really get them that far, but they are on the soundtrack. So they have 3 albums. Road of the Gypsy, which was the song on Iron Eagle, that was their very last album. I'm going to play from their second album called American Heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, unfortunately, their lead singer committed suicide. And they got dropped from their label in 1987. So that was a bad year. Bad year for them.
Good year for me, a bad year for them.
Yeah. They reformed the band. They kind of like took a break, reformed the band with some new members, including this guy named Doug Kahan. Just remember that. Put that in the old memory bank. We'll come back to Kahan. So he came in on a bass, and then they renamed the band DC Drive. So that's another band from Detroit that had a little bit of success.
Okay.
They were more successful in Canada in the early 90s. But we're talking about Adrenalin. We're talking about before all of that. This band were actually inducted into the Michigan Rock Legends Hall of Fame in 2015. So they're a well-liked band in Michigan.
Located on the 3rd floor of the public library. There's a kiosk.
Right. So I'm going to play, like I said, from their second album. This is from 1984. So American Heart. This is a song called Faraway Eyes. All right. Montage mode.
Got it.
Starts now.
You were raised on a trial.
2 for 2. That's good too. I'm ashamed to like that. I don't know what it is. It's like,
I know.
I want to hate it, but I liked it.
It's like I said, this is the cheese that you just want to pour on yourself.
Oh, this is the good aged cheddar.
This is the best Velveeta you've ever had.
Aged cheddar, yes.
So what are your thoughts of Faraway Eyes by Adrenalin?
No reason whatsoever I thought of this, but kid works his ass off at McDonald's all through high school and goes to his high school graduation and all he's thinking is like, yeah, I never got to work there again. I'm going to go out and get a good job, and move on. And on his way home, he drives past the same McDonald's and he sees the line for the drive-thru is like around the building. And he's like, crap, man. And he knows that they're probably just slammed and that not enough people showed up and he couldn't help himself. He pulls in the parking lot and he's still got his nice graduation clothes on. He jumps behind the counter, starts helping everybody out. And unbeknownst to him, somebody comes to the drive-thru and recognizes him and puts it out on social media. And all of a sudden, he's...
This is a new movie.
Yes.
Okay.
It comes out, and this is more like a after-school special, not necessarily a feature movie. But the montage is of him working in his nice graduation clothes, helping his friends out to get through this big rush because, several people called in sick like dicks on a Friday night. So word gets out, and he gets like $100,000 GoFundMe for his college education.
Wow, look at that! That took a spin. See, I had this placed in the '80s, but no, you have it in
more modern
day.
times. Yeah, it didn't have to be in the '80s.
I see. I see what you did there.
That was on the news like a week ago. Sorry, but yeah, he did that. He on his way home from graduation.
It's true. There are no original ideas in Hollywood.
There's not. I should work in Hollywood because all I did just plagiarize something.
Let's try this one. All right, so this is set in the 80s. This is set in 1984. The name of the song is Faraway Eyes. While this is playing, you are witnessing a kid who's blind. A blind kid.
So we're witnessing him, but he's not. He doesn't see us.
He can't see us at all.
Okay, we're like waving at him, flipping him off.
All he ever wanted to do was skateboard. He listens to skateboarding videos. He hears people tell him what they're doing, the tricks and all this stuff.
Wait, back up a little bit.
Yeah.
He listens
to the videos.
To skateboard videos.
Yeah.
So are they narrated?
Well, that's what I'm telling you. He listens and loves the sound of the trucks grinding, and he knows what it feels like to be on a skateboard, but he's blind. He'll never be able to do that, right? Well, he meets this girl, and she goes, "We're going to get you to skateboard."
I've got a Braille skateboard.
Just put your hands down the entire time. No, she devises this system. You see, they have these things called walkie-talkies, and she puts one in his back pocket, and an earpiece in his ear, and then she basically comes up with this system to tell him.
They weighed 14 pounds in the 80s. Maybe the 90s.
We're gonna keep it in the 80s. It's a walkie-talkie.
Skip that part.
It's a walkie-talkie. So he's dropping into pools, man, during this, and she's his faraway eyes. She's calling where he needs to go. Like,
tied it back in.
Put your hand down. Yeah. Put your hand down here. All right. Ollie here. She's giving him all. I don't remember all the lingo, but she's giving him all the lingo, when to do it. And
flip.
He's riding in a pool, man. And that's what's happening while this song's being played.
Nice.
You thought Faraway Eyes was about him,
right?
But Faraway Eyes is about her. Mm-hmm. You see what I did there?
Yeah. Spotter.
Oh, it's gonna make $1 million.
Yeah, I can't compete with that.
Oh, it's great. Okay, well maybe you'll get me with the next one. You and your plagiarized story. Okay,
that was a good story though.
Now here's another new band doing this kind of music, and when you hear this, you're gonna be like, "No way, this is brand new." But this is brand new. However, before I give you the entire story about this, please remove that horned helmet, sir.
It's already
take it off.
I left it. I just leave it off at this point.
No, I said helmet. Don't take that off. Oh, never mind. More. Oh, can you believe it? Another AOR band from Sweden.
I believe there's a ton of them over there.
Yeah. Now this one's different because this guy, Michael Pallas, he's Lithuanian born, but he lives in Sweden, so he's Lithuanian Swedish
like around
artist.
The corner.
Yeah, so Michael Pallas. Name of his band is Pallas.
Go figure.
There you go. That's a great name.
I would have run with that too.
Now I heard this band. I got to give props. I heard this band on the Growing Up Rock podcast. This was one of Steven's favorite bands from last year. That's how new this is. This came out last year, and this was in his top 10 of the end of the year bands that they loved.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I felt bad because I had never heard of them. And he introduced me to them, and he acted like this was no big deal. I heard it and went, "Oh, that sounds very 80s."
Why are you sitting on this?
Whoa!
You need to spread the word.
So I'm going to play from the 2024 album. It's his 5th album under the name Palace, but he's also a songwriter. He's played with a lot of the bands on the Frontiers label, which is a
Journeys.
It's a European hard rock label that does like melodic and epic hard rock. It's all these bands in Europe that sound like 80s bands.
Yeah,
a lot of them are on Frontiers.
Sounds like heaven.
There you go. That's probably one of the bands. So I just thought I'd read Michael's comments for this album, and it'll give you further reason that we're going to listen to it from Michael's own mouth here. It was time to go back to the roots, as they say, and finally make a true 80s AOR album that I've dreamt of creating since I started Palace. It's the missing link between 1985 and 2024. So there you go. And I picked the song to play, the perfect song to play, Back to 85.
Let's go.
Twist of fate.
that was challenging to come up with the montage theme because it's current.
It's there. Yeah.
It's current, but it's taking me back to 85, where the 85 should have been where the montage was happening. So you're having to think about a former montage. So if he had written this a few years earlier, it would have been in time for high school reunion from 1985. That's already passed and, gone. So it's like 30 years. Everybody's dead by now. Graduated in 1985, right?
God, I hope not. That doesn't spell out good things for us.
Probably old and dead.
Won't be long.
Yeah, so I think it was mainly just a montage of lots of photos. You're sitting there at your class reunion, playing that in the background. That's, I don't know, it was kind of narrow in scope.
Yeah, see, I thought this was just the obvious low-budget play on Back to the Future.
Well, that too, yeah.
Made current day and going back to the 85.
Well, they had a sequel, didn't they?
They did, but this is the low-budget version.
The third.
Has different...
Back to the Future, the third.
These aren't even the same characters. This is Back to 85, so...
Fuke to the Backture.
Yeah.
Korean. It was made in Korea.
I'm going fucking back.
Fucking back, man.
Yeah, so that's all I got out of it. I will say that there are songs on this album that have a little more guitar. I just love the idea that this was Back to 85. There are other songs that have a little more heavy guitar in them.
Yeah, this was synth.
This is very synth, and it comes off a little Broadway as well.
Yeah,
a little show tuney.
The keyboard player from Bon Jovi. He was the one that put the show tunes in all their songs. If they had any element of show tunes.
Was it David Bryan? Is that his name? Or something like that?
I can't remember, but he...
I'm not a big Bon Jovi guy. Sorry, people.
I don't either, yeah. So, but I'm pretty sure he went on to write Broadway show tune type stuff after his stint with Bon Jovi.
We should get the staff on that.
Yeah. Hey! The dog's like,
he's like, I'll go look. Okay, whatever.
I can lick my balls if I want to, man. I'm a dog.
Well, we just talked about the year 1985 in a very recent song, so why don't we actually go back to 1985? Yeah, that was a great year.
That was the year my Camaro was made.
Oh, yeah. So this is a band that formed in London in the late 70s. They sit somewhere between AOR and New Wave.
Or Wave.
I can't even come up with anything. It's not coming to me.
We'll put that on the staff.
So this is a trio that comprised of guitarist David Cumming, keyboardist Colin Payne, and drummer Jeffrey Need. Remember those names?
Cumming, Need, Payne. Payne, yes. Need, Cumming.
They were just a trio. They filled out the rest of the band with session guys, including bass player Randy Jackson.
Oh, wow.
Dog! Who also played in Journey.
How did he go from Journey to American Idol?
I don't know.
What was the journey?
What was his
Pun
journey?
Intended, yeah.
I don't know.
I'd like to see a little flow chart.
It must have been, he must have produced albums with Simon or did work with Simon or something.
Yeah, what did Simon do before American Idol?
He was
just
a
producer?
He did the same show in the UK and brought it to America.
Well, yeah, but see, I go.
He was a producer.
How do you just start that though?
Yeah, he was a producer. I don't know. I don't know. I'm talking on my ass. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I do know that Randy Jackson.
Welcome to my world.
I do know that Randy Jackson was. I'm sorry, I'm not an American Idol.
Well, no, I'm just saying talking out your ass.
Well, true.
Well versed in that.
But I do know that Randy Jackson was in Journey, and he was also in this band, Taxi.
He was in the height of the '80s Journey.
Oh, I love that album.
Yeah,
Raised on Radio.
That was a good one.
That's a good one. Love it. Be Good to Yourself. That's such a great song, man.
Was it Only the Young?
That was a montage in a movie. It was a movie about some kid that goes on one of those camps where they outward bound or whatever, and he hates it. And that was the song at the end.
Mom, come get me. And Only the Young. We talked about that in the last montage.
Yeah.
That if that's not a montage, it's a crime. That song is made for a montage.
I think Steve told us all about how it was.
Okay, good. Yeah. I can't remember.
But Randy was also in this band, Taxi, with 2 X's.
Oh, God.
4 albums from 1980 to 1985, the sweet spot for this kind of music. And then they had another album that was supposed to come out in 1988 that got shelved. Here's another band, another album that gets shelved. But it finally did get released in 2014. This band, Taxi, they opened for bands like The Police, Foreigner, Night Ranger, Loverboy, Triumph, Blue Oyster Cult, The Motels. I mean, they were there in the mix of all of those things. So they had some minor chart success in France and the US. They're a UK band. I guess they didn't go over well in their country, but they did okay in France and the US.
All right, get out.
And the song I'm going to play is a song that was remixed for a 12-inch single that was played in the clubs in the U.S. Do you remember this whole thing? You probably don't.
A 12-inch single?
Yes.
I know what that is.
You know what? Okay, all right. Well, they used to remix songs and make them really long so that they would play in the club for a long time.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I didn't know.
I'm older than you.
I know, but I didn't really think you were a club goer.
No, I wasn't.
80s.
No, I wasn't.
I wasn't either. I just heard about this.
But I do remember because my friend had of all things, Yaz.
Yaz.
Yeah. And was that the one? Oh, yeah. Or was that Yellow?
No, that was Yellow.
Yellow. So he had both. I remember him playing that.
Ow.
Dun, 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 dun.
Ferris Bueller.
At some point in my life, I thought that was cool.
I still think it's cool. I love that. I'm not going to lie to you. I have the Yellow album.
Do you have it?
Oh, yeah.
But I think
I can pull it up right
The
now.
reason I said I think it was the 12-inch. And he played it because it had different mixes on each side of the same song.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
yeah,
what they did.
I do remember that.
So the song I'm going to play is not the 12-inch version. We're not going to suffer through that. But this band's cool, man. I never heard of them until about 2 years ago when I was looking up bands that did this kind of stuff after Mr. Scoldwell took us through that whole thing. But I'm going to play it for you now. It got to number 36 on the mainstream rock chart in 1985. Let's see what you think. From their album Expose. That's such an 80s album.
You know what that means in English?
Expose. Enlighten me. It means expose.
It means exposed.
All right, here's the song Still in Love from Taxi.
Standing by the window, staring out at the sea. I'm thinking of you. The Riviera stretches to the end of the world. What's a boy gonna do? A memory triggered a familiar sound. Oh, you know it so well. There have been others, but the magic is gone. They cast no spell. I remember how we drove to the beach and walked together hand in hand, forgetting where we started from as we walked barefoot in the sand. Oh, I'm still in love with you. Oh, I'm still in love with you. Martini umbrellas upon our ice, and an empty chair in a little cafe in a lonely place town. How I wish you were here. I remember how we drove to the beach and walked together hand in hand, forgetting where we started from as we walked barefoot in the sand. Still in love with you. Oh, I'm still in love with you. Oh, I'm still in love with you. Oh, I'm still in love with you. Still in love with you. Oh, I'm still in love with you. Oh, I'm still in love with you. Oh, I'm still in love with you.
First of all, honorable mention to the fade out then.
And the sexual healing.
Sexually. The harmonies on the chorus were just perfect. Absolutely perfect. The sexual healing, the fade out. I mean, it was like it was made in the 80s or something.
Yeah, it's so 80s. It sounded. Oh, it's actually as middle of the 80s as you can get.
85. That's a good thing for tonight. I mean, that was a good time. It was going back to the days of hanging out with the majorette.
Oh, we're going back to that story.
I love that story.
Oh, the summer of 85.
Because it ties into this song.
Oh, okay.
Still in Love with You.
Oh,
Deanna Robbins.
There you go.
I think I found her on Facebook.
You did?
Yeah, I didn't.
And?
She moved after graduation. I heard she'd moved up to like Michigan, married a firefighter, and I looked up her name and saw a picture. I think that's her, but it's in Florida again. So I think she moved back to Florida, but I have not reached out.
She divorced her fireman. She went back to Florida looking for her long lost love, who's just no longer there.
No, she could stay with him. It's okay. It's okay. I'm going to keep the memory and reality.
Is this a bless her heart?
Yeah. Reality can go fuck itself.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going to live in my fantasy world.
All right. And that's your montage was a personal montage.
18-year-old Deanna Robbins, not 58-year-old Deanna Robbins.
That's the point we are in life right now.
Sorry. I'll just take the heat for that. I'm sorry.
Boy. What a dick.
You dick!
Yes.
Now, I had the weirdest montage scene. This band could not make it onto a movie soundtrack for me for some reason. Instead, all they got was a commercial.
But commercials can be nothing but montages.
Do you remember the commercials for Reese's back in the day?
Back when I could eat them?
Yes, back when you could have them. Yes. The Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, they always had the commercial where the chocolate and the peanut butter were running and embracing.
Yeah. They were separate at the beginning of the commercial.
Yes.
And somehow
they got
fate
together.
Would bring them together in different farcical circumstances.
And that's what
the
Still in
construction
Love with You.
worker and the lady in the waitress outfit, whatever.
Yeah.
They bump each other and
No, I got the image of people in really bad chocolate and peanut butter suits running towards one another and hugging.
Just owning it.
Oh yeah, just
no
like
accident
a horrible commercial. And this was a song. I'm Still in Love with You.
I bet $5 there's a website with that.
I'm sure it exists.
Because I know models that get paid to do weird stuff like that. And yeah, it's very odd. It makes me feel very normal when I hear stories like that.
Well, that's what I got out of this. That's your montage for Taxi. Yeah. But I like the band. I own the album. It's a good album. It's not quite as much guitar as I typically like. That's why I said they're a little between new wave and AOR. They depended really heavily on the keyboards.
Pushing the AOR part.
Yeah, they were.
Album-oriented, otherwise music.
Right, exactly. So let's talk about a newer release next. This is a not-so-new band, but it happens to be a newer release. And this band happens to be from
Detroit.
Tasmania.
Never would have guessed that.
Yeah, that's not one that's come up before. Oh. A little present to you and I from one Craig Elvin.
Oh.
G'day, Waffle.
G'day, Waffle.
Call them the Devils.
Yes. Well, that's a good idea there because the name of this band is Devils in Heaven. See what they did there?
Tasmanian.
See what they did? Yes, they moved to Sydney in 1989, so they're a little late to the AOR game. I guess AOR was still going into the 90s. But
it was Australia. They were a few years behind.
Well, maybe.
You dicks!
So they moved to Sydney in 89.
The time change.
It's the time change. And they competed on Australia's Star Search TV show. Remember Star Search?
Yeah, that was Ed McMahon.
Here in the States.
Way before American Idol.
Yeah, here in the States, that was kind of the Idol thing before there was that thing. And I think it came on Saturdays at 6 in the afternoon.
Yeah, it was
6 in the evening.
Yeah, I never watched it, but I remember flipping through. Actually, I remember it because we would be flipping past it to get to Hee Haw.
See, I was flipping past it to get to wrestling.
Yeah, same thing.
WCW on
There's
Turner.
There's not much genetical difference between Hee Haw and professional wrestling. Right. It occupies the same lack of
But we had to go past Star Search
to get to that.
Yeah, so this band, they were on Star Search and they won the grand final for the bands in 1991.
Friday, 7:30, following Neighbours, Star Search.
Fabulous.
Exposing Australia's hottest young talent.
Here we have a star in the making.
Will it be the wailing wonder from Wagga, Jerson, Trinidad, or the Devils in Heaven?
What a performance.
What talent. Check it out. Star Search. Friday, 7:30 on Channel 10.
And they made a big mistake because they won the thing and then they didn't put out an album or a single for 6 months.
No.
And after that, people had already forgotten about it.
You should have had it ready to go.
So that single didn't do very well. So they thought, you know what we're going to do? It's 1992 now. We're going to move to the U.S.
There's this place called Seattle.
We're going to move to the... No, they don't know about that.
Oh.
We're going to move to the U.S. because they love AOR. They love rock music in America. And they come and they put together an album or an EP. And yeah, the music in the U.S. was kind of changing right around then.
It was over there.
Yeah. So that didn't work out for them either. So they split in 1993. Never really released a full-length album, but in 2021, they did release a full-length album because there was a label in Germany, I believe. I was going to say Europe, but yes, Germany's in Europe.
That's, yes, one and the same.
You are correct, sir. Yes!
There is an AOR label in Germany, and they had heard, they'd watched YouTubes. People had clamored for this band to actually put out an album. And so they found the recordings and they beefed them up and, made them better and releasable in 2021. And they put out their album Rise in 2021, Devils in Heaven. We're going to listen to a song called Liberation. This is the song that they brought to the States that they just knew in 1992 was going to be a big hit. Didn't quite happen.
Not to be confused with Herb Alpert's Rise. Great album.
What the hell you say?
Okay, if you say so. Good lead in. Here's Liberation from Devils in Heaven.
Times are changing, yet some things stay the same. The little men are playing their war games. Well, they scheme and devise, tell us all of their lies, like kings and like queens, we're like pawns in between. It's another world, it's not one I know. Cool.
There's your guitar.
Tazzies.
You asked for more guitar and you got it.
I got it.
Got some noodly diddly stuff going on. Really reminded me of a band that had some success in the 80s that I don't know if we've played an example from them. It's Kiss. They were moderately successful in the 80s.
Kiss connection with a K.
Really successful in the 70s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Today, wildly popular. 80s? I don't know.
They were struggling.
They were trying. They kept it going.
They were following trends.
They were following trends, which they always did. But they had some 80s stuff that sounded dangerously close to this, but I don't know if we've ever featured it because they would have gladly sold any of their songs for a certain price.
Right.
They're not above that.
Right. Did any montage segments come into your head as you were listening to this?
Yeah, Gene Simmons was, woefully short on cash one day, and he thought, I need to sell one of my songs to one of these movies like these other bands do, and it just goes from there.
Oh, okay.
What was yours?
So I was thinking this was not in a movie per se, but HBO in 1992. They heard this song and they went, "We can use that." Because we're putting together a documentary about the falling of the Berlin Wall.
And this would have been like, what?
That was 90, 91 when that came down?
Yeah, I was going to say, would not have been the mid-'80s, but...
No, this was, the original version of this came out in 92.
89 was the Berlin Wall, so yeah.
Yeah, but if HBO's putting together a documentary.
89? Yeah, it was 89.
89, 90, yeah, somewhere around there.
It was a blur. I was in college.
I don't know. But anyway, that's what I had
it was poor construction.
in my head.
It was going to fall down anyway.
So in my head, this was all the montage of all the photos of the people tearing down the wall and, everything that occurred over those couple of weeks that it came down. And, George Bush telling people to, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall. Yeah, so.
I'm going to kick you in the neck.
Yeah, that's what was going on. But good band. They just were a little late.
Yeah, I think they can get a little bit of retro love, maybe. They I
think they did. They released a whole album.
Keep doing
recently.
what they're doing. I would say do it again.
I looked up to see what they look like now, and the guy that's the lead singer looks nothing. Well, you wouldn't expect him to look anything like he did back in the 90s, but he's like
30 years ago.
He's like beefed up like George Lynch got in the 90s. Remember how he got all big? This guy's like all big.
Got a little protein shake going on?
Yeah, I guess so. How'd that work out for you?
Definitely not on Ozempic.
Exactly. He's not all flabby. All right, so we need a sound clip for Detroit. Because we're going back to the Motor City. And this band, I told you to remember something. I told you to remember a name earlier. Mm-hmm. This band, it was not. No, this band has ties to DC Drive, which is the band that Adrenalin became, the band we played just a little while ago. Yeah. Adrenalin became after they got dropped. This band is called Flash Kahan. I told you to remember Doug Kahan. So here we go, Flash Kahan.
Flash Kahan. It's a Star Trek mixed with Flash Gordon.
Yeah. Yeah, before he left to join the Adrenalin guys, he was in this band Flash Kahan. They only put out one album. They have one video that actually was on MTV for a minute, and it's pretty good stuff. It was actually on a major label. It was on Capitol Records. They opened for, get this, they opened for Culture Club.
What?
Yeah, the Beach Boys and John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band.
That was also the 80s. We forget. We focused on what we thought was great about the 80s. We forget there's this whole other side to the 80s.
I liked John Cafferty. I love some Eddie
on
and
the dark
Cruisers.
side.
Yeah. We've played that before. But yeah, these guys.
Culture Club. Yeah.
Culture Club.
Gonna miss me. You're gonna miss me. Fine.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's play a little Flash Kahan. I think it's pretty cool stuff, but. One album, one and done. See what you think. This is from the album, Heart Full of Fire, One at a Time.
You don't like
You know, that cassette transfer doesn't sound nearly as good as I thought it did.
But boys and girls, that's what the 80s sounded like.
1985.
Yeah.
That one also came out in 1985.
Right in the middle there. So that had the bad parts of Jefferson Starship.
Oh, okay.
Change, dun, 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 dun. That keyboard through the whole effing song.
Runaway, Bon Jovi, right?
That too.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, you heard all that. But I guess we did talk about, I'm sure we talked about one TV show that had montages.
Oh, the A-Team?
In 1972, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from a maximum security stockade to the Los Angeles underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the A-Team.
Yes. Every single episode.
Every episode.
About 3/4 of the way.
That made writing that show a lot easier.
Oh, yeah, because you're like 8 minutes, done. Montage. Weld some stuff on the van. You got some people going to attack. And so you got to get
Didn't
ready.
they roll the same clips like when certain things would happen? They would just roll the same clip?
When Jeep. There's a lot of Jeeps getting shot and blown up. It was the same Jeep. And they'd flip over. And they had AK-47s. Like everybody there, like 30 AK-47s, everybody shooting these guns. Nobody ever got shot. Did you notice that?
Just hold your wad there, fella.
As much gunfire.
You can't hit Hannibal.
Well, it's like stormtroopers and just bullets going everywhere. But even the bad guys, there was no actual gunshots, but everybody had machine guns. And even at 15 years old, I'm sitting there going,
and Russian guns at that.
Well, there's the AKs.
Yeah.
They're all fully automatic. And they're just spraying and praying. Nobody got hit. And I'm going, does anybody have fire discipline? Does anybody know how to, shoulder the weapon? You got the sights.
That doesn't look cool.
Yeah.
You can't call yourself face and shoot like that.
Yeah, I guess so. But I was but everything else I believed at 15 years old.
Hannibal just had a cigar and his gloves on, and he always had a pistol.
Yeah.
He didn't even have a machine gun. He'd take him out with a pistol.
Or he'd have explosives somewhere. He'd push the button.
Push the button, yeah.
Just smile. I love it when a plan comes together.
All right, did you have a montage?
Yeah, so that was it. It was
it would be in one of the episodes.
It was an evil developer trying to foreclose on a bar. And A-Team got hired by the bar band to protect this bar. And so as they were building everything, the band was playing in the background to kind of motivate them as they were welding steel panels on the van and everything.
I like this. That's great.
It's got some legs.
Yeah,
we'll workshop it.
I like that.
We'll focus group it.
Yeah. See, I went in a completely different direction, so I love that. So I love the ninja movies in the 80s, and I feel like this song, unfortunately, it was included in a film that just didn't quite get it right. They were trying to capitalize on the whole ninja thing, and they didn't get it right because it was about an American ninja. You remember American Werewolf in London?
I remember the movie.
The movie, yeah. So this was American Ninja in China. They couldn't even get the country right.
I think I saw. So American Werewolf in London. I've never seen the entire movie, but I remember distinctly in the HBO guide
seeing that.
Well, you seeing that, but it had the N.
Good, baby. Very good.
Listed at the end of it.
Oh, nudity. Oh.
So I remember watching about...
It was a naked wolf.
Well, yeah, I think that was it. And I was just really disappointed because I was like, I don't think this is going to...
It probably had a nice boob shot.
This isn't good. Yeah, but it never got to that point.
Oh,
like
okay.
I lost interest before it had the payoff. So don't tell me you never did that.
Of course I did. Of course. That's part of being in the 80s.
Guide, it was about that big.
You had like a little 4x5 inch little pamphlet.
It was a pamphlet.
Yeah, and
it would come in the mail.
Come in the mail, and then you could see what was on.
Yeah.
And every Saturday they would feature a new film that was actually released 6 months prior.
It took 6 months from the movie theater to cable.
If not a year.
Maybe a year. The more popular the movie, the longer it took because they milked it as much as they could on VHS tapes.
That's right. Because they didn't want you watching HBO because then you wouldn't go rent the tape.
Right.
See, they were smart.
The smart executives.
Yes. But yes, this was American Ninja in China. They didn't get the country right. It was a really bad movie.
There's no ninjas in China.
Yeah, I know. They messed it up.
Wrong country.
They totally messed it up. But this song was
very
brilliant.
Racist.
It was very brilliant in that. But they didn't know shit in the 80s about Asia.
No.
All right.
It was all one big country.
Speaking of Asia, we're going to end tonight.
The heat of them. Oh, not
that
Asia.
would be good. That was another AOR band that was made up of all these prog guys that went, We need to make some money.
Got a retirement coming up the road here in about 20 years.
And it worked out really well, the first album, and they chased that the rest of their career.
Yep.
But no, I'm going to play from an album called Samurai. How 80s is that? 1983,
totally.
This album came out called
Everybody
Samurai.
had the bandana with the
yes.
rising sun
The rising
on it.
sun on it, yes. The whitest people in the world were wearing it. Yes, they looked so convincing.
And the ripped T-shirts with the same thing on it.
No, we're going to end with that album, and the singer in this particular band is one of my favorite. In fact, he is my all-time favorite singer that Michael Schenker's ever worked with.
All 5 of them.
Well, he's had more than that, but
really?
my favorite version of MSG, you know the one I like, right?
Oh, yeah.
Robin McCauley. McCauley Schenker Group. Yes, we're talking about Robin McCauley, his band before he joined the Michael Schenker Group and became McCauley Schenker. He was in it.
Very confusing.
It's
Kevin.
so confusing.
You need a chart.
We'll chart it out. You know what we'll do? Should have been huge.
Yes.
And we'll lay it all out at some point.
Yeah.
I think Brad said he might be interested in that. So
when
we'll
it comes
see
to
about
podcasts, people love flow charts.
They do. Yeah.
That
it goes
is
over well.
Hit maker.
Audible
right there.
flow charts.
Audible flow charts.
Amazing.
Thus begot thus, and then so and so begot so and so.
No, but Robin McCauley, he was in a hard rock AOR band from the UK called Grand Prix.
What's a good name?
That's not bad. And they actually formed in 78 and originally were called Paris. But they changed their name in 1980. They released their first album with their original singer, and then they got McCauley in 81, and they released 2 albums that were much more superior because they featured Robin McCauley. I'm going to play from the final album that came out in 83, right before they disbanded, and this song is called Somewhere Tonight. Now, I will mention that they tried to reform this band in 84 before he decided to go join Schenker. They renamed it Operator.
No.
Bad idea.
No.
But they had Motorhead drummer Phil Taylor. Yes, Filthy Phil. He was the drummer, and they had a Michael Schenker bass player, Chris Glenn, in the group. But obviously
Kind of a super group.
Kind of a super group, but it didn't work out, and obviously a connection was made with Michael Schenker, and that's when McCauley went and did that whole thing.
And then he got stuck at home alone.
What the hell did you just say?
There's a whole movie about it. It was Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Different Macaulay Culkin group.
Okay. Yeah. I wasn't tracking. I'm sorry. I'm with you now. I was like, but his name was Kevin. I was thinking about the character in the movie. Okay, I got you now. I'm with you.
Name,
you got me there. Okay, Grand Prix, Somewhere Tonight. Not Wonderful Tonight. That's Clapton.
Yeah, we know that song. That's definitely not AOR.
This is Somewhere Tonight from their album Samurai, 1983.
I've been a gambler now, and a love that's full. Can't stay even
They 100% sat down and made a list of all the things that you should have in a hit song and threw all that in there, and they missed two things.
What'd they miss?
Rock and roll tambourine at the end and rock and roll cowbell.
Yes, you're right.
It would have been top 10 maybe with those two things.
They just
can't promise number one, but it would definitely hit the top 10 charts.
Yeah, it didn't work out that way because they forgot that.
They didn't check with me first. They don't.
It's the producer's fault, really.
More cowbell, always.
Yes. Well, did you have any scenes in your head going through this song?
No, I started thinking about Deanna Robbins again.
Well, this song was featured in the film Work Camp. You ever seen that one?
That sounds like a film I would 100% not watch.
No?
A film named Work Camp?
Yeah, Work Camp. It's like it's a hilarious teen movie.
I don't want to know anything about a work camp.
Yeah, it's it does better than it sounds.
Hey, Robert, guess what camp you're going to this summer? What? Work camp. What am I, prison here? What is this?
Yeah, work camp. So it's about these kids. They're like 13, 14 years old, and they're kind of too old to go to like the regular just summer camp. So they sign up for work camp, and basically what they do is they work for free for the camp. They do like all kinds of cool things and projects.
This is called Cool Hand Luke.
And this is an actual story.
Oh, okay.
This is a real life story. Yes, when I was 14 years old, went to my church camp that I had gone to for years, and I did work camp. And basically, that's what the cool kids, when you're 14, that's what you did instead of like doing the camp. Kitty camps.
Like making crafts and going canoeing and swimming.
Yeah, we weren't doing any of that.
Yeah.
We were like cleaning out the lake so that they could canoe. We were making trails. We were chopping down trees.
Convinced you that was cool.
Exactly right. And this song was featured in it. And this is the point where let's just say the character in this story is named Kevin. Let's just say that he had just discovered the brilliance of heavy metal music, and the headphones, the Sony Walkman, would not leave his head. And the camp counselor, some asshole in his 20s, just couldn't deal with the fact that Kevin always had the headphones on. Even though Kevin said, "I'm not listening right now, it's not on."
Yeah.
I just, I'm in between you talking, I'm going to cut it on. And the guy just couldn't deal with it. He was just a dick. This character in this movie is really upset about this, and at one point had his Sony Walkman taken away during work camp, and then it felt like a true work prison camp. And but the great thing when this song was being played somewhere tonight was the exact point where Kevin and several of the female campers snuck out of where they were staying in the cabins and had a little fun.
Does the story have the N on the description?
Young Kevin wished that it had the end, but no, unfortunately, his
young Kevin and young Robert, if it had happened, would not have known what to do with it probably at that point in time.
But the movie was made.
What is that?
Now, also, what happens in this film is that young Kevin had to leave camp early because there was a family vacation or something scheduled, and it didn't work with when they were actually departing the actual camp. So. For some reason, all of the girls felt like they should make Kevin feel special the night before he had to leave.
Wow. And you were 13?
I was 14.
14.
And they all hung out in Kevin's cabin, which was actually these wagons. They had these wagons like out in the... This is a great movie, by the way. They had all these wagons out in the forest, and they were like 3 or 4 kids per wagon. And
you said the same as Kevin.
Yeah,
and these 4 chicks.
And it was like 4 chicks. Yeah.
And all of a sudden you hear.
And that's what young Kevin had wished had happened, but instead they just
sat around and talked about their feelings.
No, they sat around and it was
made out with each other,
first, second base kind of stuff, but with multiples. It was pretty amazing.
Dude, at 14, that's a home run.
It was game.
Second base,
it was game on.
Is an automatic home run. They just say go ahead.
Yeah.
When you tell the stories,
pretty special.
Yes.
Pretty special, but that's as far as it got. But you know what? That's okay.
Praise the Lord for church camp.
Yes.
Good for you,
I felt the Lord's present that night.
Good Lord, you became a man. Did you get anointed?
Well, this is a movie. Remember this? This actually did happen.
I know. I've heard this.
Yeah, it was.
I'm envious. This is a great story. I didn't have any stories. My church camps.
I got my headphones back too. That was great.
Oh, I would have gone and stolen them, pissed on his pillow. Guys like that. I hate people like that.
What a dick.
What a modern tale of the same exact thing for you and your daughters and earbuds.
Right, yeah.
Because they put the earbuds in.
This will not be my daughter's
You don't know if they're listening to them, but you're like, are you listening to me? Yeah. And you're like, I can hear the music. You're not listening to me.
Yeah. Well, if they were only that cool and listened to music, no, they're listening to YouTube. Like stupid videos.
What am I saying? Yeah, we're doomed.
But that's what I have for you tonight. And we ended with a camp story. You see how I just tied it all together. Look at that.
What a good going back in time. Like I said, I got nothing to really, be happy about. I mean, like story wise, all my stories right now are kind of, they're not great. There's time.
That's why I brought you the montage.
I appreciate
tonight.
that. Yeah, it's been kind of boring around here.
And I like you said earlier, this is part of you wants to not like this music because like, oh god, this is cheesy. But then you listen to it like, man, this is just so good.
Well, here's the thing: yacht rock was that way 20 years ago. Like,
where it was your dad's music that was played at the dentist.
I don't want to like this, but I do.
Oh wait, my dad was a dentist. I did play yacht
rock.
He
brought his work home sometimes. But yeah, you didn't want to, but then you did. Now you love it. And this is the same way. This is that next wave of stuff where you're like, okay, 10 years later, it's in the 80s. I want to hate it, but I don't.
I remember even in the 80s, because remember, I was like skateboard, punk rock, then getting into Metallica. And so like I remember kind of sneaking, buying the Journey Raised on Radio tape and like not really letting my friends know that I was listening to it.
You were in the closet at that point.
I was a closeted Journey listener. I was like, this is really good stuff.
Well, I was wide out in the open. I was loud and proud. I had Journey. I had Tears for Fears.
I did
stuff like that. A lot of the MTV kind of new wave, but rock and new wave stuff. Right. Not quite like all the way to The Cure, where it got weird.
Yeah, I didn't get into The Cure
that came later on.
Mm-hmm.
But the more accessible stuff during the 80s, that was all. I love that. Then we've talked about that. About 87, got caught by the rock and roll Van Halen, and it went off the deep end after that.
Well, that's for another night, maybe.
Yes.
Another episode.
We got plenty to blab about.
Well, that's what we got tonight, people. Hope you enjoyed it, and we will catch you next time.
See you
later.
Now, Jenny, how bad can your hair look? That bad.
I hate it.
You are so good at the things you do. Always adding so much Velveeta. You brighten everything you touch.
Thanks, Mom.
It's that golden blend of natural cheeses and other wholesome ingredients that make Velveeta processed cheese spread shine.
Velveeta.